The following is a selected video from videomathteacher.com, where you can explore over 10,000 videos, print out practice worksheets, find proofs and discussions on many math topics, and explore related videos. Try videomathteacher.com today. Let's graph the parabola y equals 2 times x minus 1 squared minus 8, and also identify the x and the y intercepts, the vertex, and the axis of symmetry. To graph our parabola, let's first find our information, the vertex, the x and the y intercepts, and the axis of symmetry. From there, we'll be able to create an accurate graph of our parabola on the right. So we'll write down our equation, y equals 2 times x minus 1 squared minus 8, and compare this to the standard form of a parabola, which is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. We recall that the vertex of a parabola is going to be the ordered pair h comma k. So in comparing our equation to the standard form of a parabola, we see that comparing the coefficients a must equal 2, that h must equal 1, and that k must equal negative 8. So immediately, our vertex of this parabola is 1 comma negative 8. Since a is 2 and a is greater than 0, a positive number, this parabola will be opening up. Next, let's find the axis of symmetry. For the axis of symmetry, we recall that this formula is the equation x equals h, whatever h is. In our problem, h was 1. So the axis of symmetry will be x equals 1. Next, let's find the x and the y intercepts. So, to find the y-intercept first, that's where x would equal 0. So let's plug 0 into our equation and simplify. So we would get y equals 2 times 0 minus 1 squared minus 8. Using order of operations, 0 minus 1 becomes negative 1. So y equals 2 times negative 1 squared minus 8, which simplifies to y equals 2 times negative 1 squared is 1 minus 8. Y equals 2 times 1 is 2 minus 8, so y becomes negative 6. From this, the y-intercept, where our graph is crossing the y-axis, is the ordered pair x was 0 and y is negative 6. To find the x-intercept, we'll let y equal 0. That means, plugging in 0 in for y instead of for x, we get the equation 0 equals 2 times x minus 1 squared minus 8. This becomes an equation that we can solve using the square root method. For example, we'll add 8 to both sides to get our constant on the other side. So 8 is equal to 2 times x minus 1 squared. Next, we'll divide by the coefficient so that we can square root both sides. 8 divided by 2 becomes 4, and the 2's cancel, leaving x minus 1 squared. Next, we'll square root both sides, and in square rooting a constant, we'll pick up a plus or minus, since either plus or minus of the result squared would result in 4. This means that we would have plus or minus, the square root of 4 is 2, equals square root of x minus 1 squared, the root and the power cancel, leaving x minus 1. And last, we'll add 1 to both sides, writing the add 1 in front of the plus or minus. So, writing this properly, x equals 1 plus or minus 2. We see that there's two answers. Either x equals 1 plus 2, which results in 1 plus 2 being 3, or that x equals 1 minus 2, and 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Therefore, we have two x-intercepts. One intercept is x was 3 when y is 0. And the other intercept was x is negative 1 when y is 0. Now that we have found the intercepts, the axis of symmetry in the vertex, and that we know that the parabola is opening upwards, Let's plot this on our graph to the right. So our vertex is 1 comma negative 8. From the origin, we'll go 1 unit to the right and negative 8 units down. We'll label this with a V being our vertex of 1 comma negative 8. For the axis of symmetry, this is the vertical axis that the graph will be symmetric around, which we'll draw as a dotted line through the vertex. And this would be the vertical line x equaling 1. We found that the graph will cross the y-axis at 0 comma negative 6, which will be 0 units left or right, 6 right here. And that it'll cross the x-axis at 2 points, being 3 comma 0 and negative 1 comma 0. That said, from the origin we'll go negative 1 unit to the left, or we'll go 3 units to the right. We now see this parabola being formed. So connecting these points from the vertex, and we also found that this was going upwards, our parabola will shoot upwards on one side, and from our symmetry it will be the same on the other side of this line of symmetry, which will be this graph. Therefore, this is the graph of the parabola of y equals 2 times x minus 1 squared minus 8. We found that its vertex, in summary, is 1 comma negative 8. The axis of symmetry is x equals 1, and that it has a y-intercept of 0 comma negative 6 and two x-intercepts of 3 comma 0 and negative 1 comma 0. In conclusion, let's also graph this on the TI-83 to confirm our results. So, bringing up a TI-83 graphing calculator, we'll enter in our function. To graph y equals 2 times x minus 1 squared minus 8, we'll hit the y equal button on the TI-83. For y1, we'll enter in 2 parentheses. To produce an x, we'll hit the xt theta n button, minus 1 parenthesis. For squared, we'll hit the squared key on the left, and then minus 8. To produce the graph, we'll hit the far right upper graph button. And we see that we have the same parabola that we've graphed on the right. This confirms that our graph is correct with the graph of y equals 2 times x minus 1 squared minus 8. So this is the conclusion of this video.